All right.
Okay, we're back. Day two of the 5 podcasts in a row.
The 5-day pod. We have officially had day 2.
30 minutes of technical difficulties.
30 minutes at least. All right.
It's a new thing every single time.
At least. But now I think we're a little more set on, the rhythm of this and how to get started. But
We also can't explain the red lights.
no, but that'll be another day to worry or at least research. But
Came out of nowhere.
we have an interesting topic today,
We did. It's a big one.
and it is working out.
Working out.
Something a lot of us should be doing.
Click the slideshow.
Click the slideshow. Let's get started. So I kind of created a little bit of a prompt for this one and kind of how I want this subject to go.
I like it.
And so I think working out is pretty vague, as in, like we assume everybody knows what it means, but there's not essentially like a set definition of why it's good for you or what the benefits really are. You can have your own personal definition, but
Yeah, well, it's always changing.
yeah, exactly.
It's
Well,
always
there's
new
there's
literature.
always new research coming out and proving people right and wrong. So we're gonna be going down off of this Google Doc that I wrote, and so you guys can let me know what you guys think in the comments.
It's going to be physical, mental health, just brain health. Everything kind of is interconnected.
Yeah, and also how to implement a healthy habit, because a lot of people try getting on working out and the whole routine of it, but after a week, after 2 weeks, New Year's comes in, New Year's resolutions, and you fall out. And so we're gonna be attacking all those different concepts and try and help the best way we can.
If you're watching Andrew Huberman or have been recently, that's all right. You can turn him off. You can start watching us now,
Exactly. We're half as intelligent, but it's okay.
but a lot better, way better, so much better. Most of what we're gonna say is probably learned from him.
Yeah,
A lot of it.
guaranteed, but it's okay. Just to start off our starting sentence, right?
The hook.
The hook. Engaging in regular physical activity is vital for maintaining overall health and a well-being. Its benefits extend across various aspects of physical and mental health, and establishing a consistent exercise routine can be achieved by implementing effective habit-forming strategies.
That's right.
And we will be using the Atomic Habits book linked below as kind of a guide, because I think that is the best how-to in the aspect of implementing any habit, and also recognizing the negative habits that we have kind of overlooked and have caused us to neglect the gym, for example, neglect reading, neglect different things that are obviously one way or another
Yeah.
going to impact us positively.
It's a great book. One of the most popular as of recent. It's kind of it's the most value per page that a book can really get. Like it's packed.
Oh, for sure.
It's no wonder it's one of the most popular.
And there are a lot of physical health benefits besides you just getting massively jacked. There are cardiovascular health benefits. Regular exercise strengthens the heart muscles, improves circulation, and reduces the risk of heart disease. Studies have shown that engaging in moderate physical activity such as brisk walking as in mile walking, for 150 minutes per week can lower the risk of all causes of mortality by 31%. 150 minutes
That's
divided by, a full week. If you're telling me you can't walk for 10 minutes a day, then you're doing something wrong.
Especially after a meal too. Then it's even better.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
your
for
body
sure.
it helps you digest food way faster,
Oh,
and
definitely.
your insulin resistance is improved, and you feel better. Less mental fog, more mental clarity.
Exactly. And it's important to start, right? If you haven't been going to the gym for the last 5 years and you say, you know what, I'm going to jump right into the gym, but you have no form, no technique, and no genuine strength, then you shouldn't start with a bench. You shouldn't start with a squat. If you haven't squat in 5 years and your form is probably not optimal, you'll probably hurt yourself. And my mom has always told me, it's like, Miko, take me to the gym. It starts step by step. And I think it's important to strengthen the basics, which is, if you dedicate time to go on a run, to go on a walk every single day, then that's one progressive step forward. If you are doing at-home workouts like push-ups, sit-ups, squats, basic core exercises that you need to strengthen your body just to prepare yourself for weight training. But if you aren't strong enough to essentially, work out with just the weight of your body, then imagine 45 pounds on top of that, 15 pounds on top of that.
Yeah, and they say abs are made in the kitchen, which is true.
I believe it's like 80%.
Yeah, something crazy.
20%. Yeah, 80% is all in the kitchen, the meals that you eat. And
if you can do all the cardio you want, but if you're not eating less than you're burning, then you're not going to lose weight.
Exactly. And especially if you're not eating, healthy meals that will help you, lower weight, or like, for example, if I'm eating just a bunch of sugary donuts and my goal for the year is to drop 10 pounds and all I'm doing is, walking a mile a day.
I think we got to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, definitely. That'll be a topic for another day where we talk about, what are the best foods to eat while in a calorie deficit or trying to bulk. And,
I'll love that one.
Yeah, I think that'd be an interesting video for another day, especially because of how jam-packed that would be.
I'd also like to mention that it's super important if you're just starting out in the gym. Realize that no one's there to judge you. There's no reason to be ashamed or embarrassed for your current state. If you feel like unathletic or you're out of shape, it's probably not as bad as you think it is, and it's definitely not going to be something that anyone else at the gym focuses on and makes fun of you for.
Exactly.
So I think what a lot of people need that have that thought process, what they need to hear is, like, everyone at the gym is pretty supportive.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if they see someone working hard, they're putting in the work.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Agreed.
Keep it up. And they'd be down to help you, too, if you have any questions.
Exactly. And be humble. And for those that do go to the gym regularly, it's important to see that the physique that you have, the health that you have, somebody prays to be that at that point. There are people who can't walk, people who can't run, people who can't exercise because of health situations and implications. So be blessed and thankful that you can go on a walk, that you can work, that you have the opportunity to pursue your endeavors with no sort of strain. And so this should motivate you to maximize your health.
Yeah,
Take advantage.
Do it for the people who can't.
Exactly. And that'll set you apart because now you're viewing it as, I get to go to the gym.
It's a privilege to feel the pain of working out.
And it's a sacrifice, with time, and it sucks, it sucks. Because, like, you're going to reach a point of failure, and once you've reached that point of failure, then you start. Then you begin growing. And it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be simple. The benefits definitely outweigh the cons. And if you view it that way, then you will grow into the person that you wish to become. Not just physically, but mentally.
Which one are we on? All right, yeah. It also prevents chronic disease. Consistent physical activity lowers the risk of developing chronic conditions like type 2 diabetes, certain cancers, and hypertension. Hypertension is a heart condition, and a lot of people associate it with older people, but it can happen to anyone. And even some of the biggest bodybuilders, I mean, it's no surprise that they can be unhealthy, but they run into hypertension issues, like cardiovascular health issues, and a lot of that is neglecting the important exercises. It's not all about how you look, it's about how you feel, how you can perform, and your ability to output. A lot of these conditions, like type 2 diabetes, for example, actually, I don't know anything about type 2 diabetes. I probably shouldn't talk about that at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't either.
I don't know anything about that. But hypertension, for example, I know it's a cardiovascular disease, and saunas, something that has gotten really popular, with the internet. It's always been popular, but infrared saunas, red light sauna, it's considered a low state cardio exercise. Like, your heart is pumping when you're in there, you're sweating. If you're not able to go on a run, for example, if you have an injury or you have some kind of chronic pain that's preventing you from exercising, go sit in a sauna. Your local gym probably has one. If not, there's likely one somewhere near where you live because of how popular they are. But the benefits from the sauna go far past just cardiovascular health. It's also the infrared and the heat. It pulls the blood closer to the surface of your skin, so it can help with wound healing as well. Something that Andrew Huberman mentioned was, I think after a week of 20 to 30-minute sessions every single day, growth hormone increased in the body by like 10x. And there's a misconception. That's not going to grow your muscles at 10 times the speed. It's a good thing, and it's not bad to have that much of it. So the benefits go far beyond just for your heart and cardiovascular health.
Agreed. And I had this older gentleman when me and my brother were helping him move in furniture. Kind of just sat outside and had a conversation. He was like, "Listen, man, I'm in my 70s. One thing that kept me in shape, that kept me healthy, was every single day, without miss, I ran a mile. Whether you can't run it, you jog it, and if you can't jog it, you walk it. Just the allocation of time to grow yourself physically, whether it's on a run, whether it's something that is straining your body to grow, will help you grow and last. Because I mean, by the time I hit 70, I want to still be able to walk.
Yeah,
You know, I
exactly.
want to still be able to venture out, spend time with my family, you know, play with my grandkids, even when I'm 80, you know.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people, you know, they have chronic illnesses by that point, and that's because of neglect. And I understand situations are different for everybody. But if you do not prioritize your physical health, one way or another, you're going to pay for it.
Yeah, and you have to filter through and get to the right information.
Exactly. And it obviously helps with weight management, you know, that's pretty,
Kind of a given.
yeah, kind of a given. It's important to prioritize in various aspects. So the reason I really like the gym is because there's so much that goes into it. One being form. You are strengthening your body in certain areas that are optimal for certain things. Like, for example, I'm really getting into boxing, and so, you know, strengthening my the explosive workouts will help my punching power, for example. You know, if I strengthen my legs, and I have a lot more, much more balance with how I step and how I move.
Yeah,
If
what's
I-
your output too?
Mhm, exactly.
I mean, your legs, most of your power is in your legs
Mhm.
because they're the only thing touching the ground.
And your core, I mean, you strengthen your core throughout every workout, one way or another. But if you focus on core strength training, you kind of set yourself apart than those that are just like, oh man, well, I already hit my core basically with my chest workout. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And prioritizing certain parts of your body for certain aspects will set you apart and help you a lot physically.
Yeah, you don't have to do everything everyone else is doing.
Mm-hmm.
You try a bunch of things out, figure out what works for you, and then stick to those. And that's what I've done. That's what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's different for everyone.
Yeah, trial and error. And we all hit that point where we're trying to perfect everything. I remember when I was first starting to work out, I was trying to perfect my workout routine before even getting into the gym. I was trying to perfect my meal plan before, you know, what's it called? Before buying my groceries,
Yeah,
right?
before
Like
even starting. It's
Exactly.
impossible. You can't. It's procrastination.
Exactly. And I struggle with procrastination personally, but a lot of people do before they get into the gym, while they're in the gym. But you have to start walking.
Get out of the planning paralysis.
Mm-hmm. Once you do it, you're one step ahead to achieving it. And you can perfect it along the way because everybody's form is different. Everybody's bodies are different. The way Jake benches, 45 pounds on a dumbbell press is going to be different than the way I do because our body composition is different. And so his form is going to be much more optimal because he's been training more, but I can still always learn from him. But there's going to be certain things where certain movements work better for me.
So also keep in mind injuries, super important.
Oh, definitely.
You don't want to injure yourself. There's no reason to show off. The gym is not a place for bragging. And I mean, no one enjoys the grunters or the slammers,
Yeah.
the ones that are trying to make a scene, get all the attention. A lot of what people who are outside the gym see, like they see the bad parts and the stereotypes, but really it's a great community.
Yeah.
The gym's awesome. We've made a lot of
really
friends.
negative view because of, social media doesn't help at all. But once you get into it and get out of your comfort zone and start to go, that's the first step. Even if you just go for 5 minutes to get on the treadmill, that's you. And once it's been a month of you going every single day, you're like, well, I'm already here. Might as well try different workouts. Might as well see what works for me. And that's the biggest way to kind of establish a habit is just going.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how long you're there for. And we'll get into that section after.
Yeah, and that can be one of the most important things that you take into account, because if you build a habit and you convince yourself to go to the gym for just 10 minutes every day, you're still building the habit of going to the gym. And then once you end up at the gym, after you wake up, the brain fog's gone, the resistance to getting out of the house is gone. You're like, you know what? I'm already at the gym. Let's just do a full workout. Let's just go a little bit longer.
Exactly. And this will be getting into the next topic on how this helps you mentally. So just you being, we're social creatures. Us humans, we're very social creatures. And it's natural and it's okay for us to be in an environment where there's a lot of people. And if you develop relationships in the gym, that's probably some of the best relationships that you can have. Because the person that you meet has a similar goal towards yours, so you already have so much in common.
Yeah, immediately.
Exactly.
Something in common.
Just the fact that you're there, that you're trying to strengthen yourself and build yourself into the version that you have in mind for you, or who you've been comparing yourself. I believe comparison is a thief of joy, but we try to compare ourselves into something that we want to be, more so than what Jake is or what I am, David Goggins is. Try to be your own comparison and see where you are meant to be and where you want to be. And so this kind of delves into the mental health benefits of the gym. I believe, for me personally, the gym has saved my sanity. I don't know where I would be without, working on myself physically, because there's so much strain, stress, and anxiety that we live through in our personal lives. Whether it's at work, whether it's at home, whether it's at school, wherever it may be, there are constant battles that we are fighting in our brains. And if we have no form of releasing that stress from our chest, from our bodies, man, it is hell.
Yeah, it is one of the only things you can control is going to the gym and getting that energy out and being proud of yourself for something that you did and knowing that you were the one that did it.
Exactly. And that just the action of you going is going to enhance your mood tremendously.
It happens every time, every single time. You don't want to get out of bed, or you end up reluctant to go to the gym, and then you're there, get a workout. You feel a little bit better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just the releases in dopamine that you have from being at the gym, that's a natural form of dopamine. It's better than scrolling. It's better than sitting on your couch and watching a movie. It's better than, watching the P word. It's better than a lot of different things that are synthetic. Going to the gym, going on a hike, going on a run, these are real forms of dopamine that we must establish in our lives.
Yeah, it's natural. Your body wants the hunt.
Exactly.
It's primitive.
Exactly. And I understand we have long days. If you work 15-hour shifts and you still go to the gym, you're a dog. You know what I mean? You're a dog. But if you don't, I understand. Life gets in the way of these things. But if you want to prevent burnout and burn calories and release all of that stress and pent-up anxiety that you have in your heart, go to the gym.
Go to the gym. Even sit in the sauna. Exactly. Find someone to talk to about it, because everyone's going through something similar. There's always an underlying reason for working out really intensely. There's something that you think about. There's a mantra that you repeat to yourself, or there's some motivation that's external from your own body is pushing you to push it even further.
Exactly.
And I think what's also important is you look in the mirror. You're not supposed to compare yourself to the ones that have been doing it for years and years. You look in the mirror and you're like, dang, my body's not perfect. Look at this flaw, or look at this other flaw. It's self-sabotage.
Yeah.
Your journey is just starting.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you comparing it to the end of someone else's goal? Like what they've already done, and they've already put in years and years of work.
Exactly.
You can't compare yourself to that. And then you also have to think back and then look in the mirror again and be like, someone would die to have my body, and be as healthy as I am. It can always be worse. It can always be worse.
Definitely. No, I agree.
And there's so many people that are so caught up in comparing themselves to others that they don't realize what they have. Gratitude's one of the most important things that I've adopted in my life. It's in my Instagram bio. I've been practicing it for probably like 4 or 5 years now. Changed my life. And being grateful for my ability to walk, my ability to see and hear without assistance. I'm always thinking about it, because it makes me that much happier every single day. Literally just walking around. This feels good, like I'm alive. And a lot of people would do anything to be where you're at. No matter what your starting point is at, there's someone that would love to get to where you are. And your starting point is someone's goal. And I think that's important to keep in mind, is that everyone's journey is different. Self-discovery will show you the best way for you to look at it for yourself.
I know I definitely need to implement much more gratitude in my life because there's a lot of things I take for granted. And like my physique, for example, you're going to reach a point mentally where you feel like your progress is stagnant and you feel like the reps are not counting. You feel like these months are not doing anything. You feel like the first year and you're just reflecting, you're like, wow, I made subtle progress. And it'll look almost meaningless once you start to appreciate, wow, my form is better. Wow, I'm actually able to lift up the weight that I struggled with at the beginning of the year. That's progress. And you have to treat your body like a temple that you're chiseling with marble. Slight hits, slight hits, slight hits. And those artists, those sculptors that would break huge blocks of marble. There's this statement, right? It's where the sculptor would hit the center of it just to break it in half, and he hit it like 100, 150, 200 times until it finally snapped in half. The climax is that one hit that breaks it in half. But saying that the one hit at the end was what broke it is stupid, because it was the 200 hits leading up to this point that broke the marble. And so it's going to be the same thing with your body, going every single day to give it your all every single day.
And it also works in the exact opposite. Like you can only treat yourself poorly for so long before something breaks, something comes up that is going to stop you from living your normal life. And you won't see it coming until it's too late.
I agree.
And that's what happens to a lot of people. Thankfully, I recently got the news of a friend's mom got her cancer cleared.
No, wow, it's beautiful.
Amazing.
Round of applause.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Cancer cleared. And could not be happier for this guy. It's very real. And just because you can't see any physical manifestation of like literal cancer in your body until it's already taking over.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You have to. That's why it's so important to start early and start when you don't even think you have to.
I agree.
Because there could always be something going on, and it's a constant battle of prevention.
Well, yeah, and it starts from the foods you eat, right? From the liquids that you drink and the habits that you've established in your life. And some unconscious, some conscious. And it's important to be very aware of the decisions that you're making. Because if you're living a very unhealthy lifestyle, you're just eating out, you're eating a bunch of, processed foods, then you reap what you sow. Your body will reflect that. Your digestive system will reflect that.
Absolutely.
And so will your mind. Your mind and your body correlate so heavily. And if you have not changed the way you think, if you have not focused on healing your brain, then your body will reflect that. If you have so much stress, so much anxiousness, so much pain in your brain, it will reflect on your body. Your body will begin to hurt.
You'll start to crack under the pressure.
Exactly. And I can only relate to me personally because that's what happened to me. When I had all this situation with my parents divorcing and all these different things, all I was a couch potato, playing video games all the time, smoking all the time. The brain fog is disgusting. And that's because of my own decisions. It wasn't until so long of constant repetition of negative habit that it snapped back on me. My shoulders were shot. My back, my body, my legs. Because I wasn't working out. I wasn't dedicating the time that I needed to grow. And so now I'm reaping what I sow. And now I'm finally in a position where I don't drink, I don't smoke, I'm not on my ass all the time. I'm actually building myself by investing time in me. Whether it's through the food that I eat or the extracurricular activities that I invest in. All of these things will build up to a point where now I'm reaping what I'm sowing in the future. Thank yourself today if you start today. Thank yourself today if you've been doing it every single day. Because in one day, in the future, you're going to look back and you're going to be like, wow, the walk getting here, it was almost as beautiful as the end result of where I am now. And I can only imagine where the next steps will lead me.
Exactly. Sitting on the couch and being stagnant, your body will start to ache after a few months. You'll start to realize that it needs upkeep. You need to go and jog. You need to go and take care of your body and stretch. People they'll be in pain, and the joints will be sore, and it hurts to move sometimes for some of these people, and they use it as an excuse. But it should be their reason. It should be their reason to go work out, not the excuse that they can't.
Exactly.
Is that the pain is too much. It's not. That's not how it should be. The reason that the pain may have even came about, the lack of upkeep of one's own, the ability that it has to repair itself over time. It needs to be broken down constantly. It needs to be replaced with new cells and stronger and healthier ones.
Exactly. And that state of comfortability, you know, it can affect your brain a lot, especially with doom scrolling and social media. People spend like a 9 to 5 on their phone, and your phone is a tool. And if you use it any other way, it's going to play you like a game. And so there are a lot of benefits to regular exercise. And whenever you're using your phone all the time, your attention span is depleting per scroll. But if you allocate time to not be on your phone, just listen to music, listen to podcasts, for example, hour podcast, this can be linked to improved memory, right? If you set up a podcast and you're on the treadmill, 45 minutes, an hour pass, and it feels like nothing, genuinely feels like nothing. But you strengthening your body helps with improved memory, concentration, and cognitive function, reducing the risk of cognitive decline and degenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. I know that personally because my grandmother, sadly, she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And what we do is we try to keep her active all the time. The more active you are, the more your brain is being utilized. But if she's just sitting down watching TV, the Alzheimer's will progress. And it sucks because it's going to reach a point where she won't be able to recognize me. But if I enjoy those times of me going on a walk with her, working out, going on hikes, having her be active, her brain's moving. Her brain's utilizing her senses, and she's recognizing, she's learning, and she's observing, and she sees the truth, and she's understanding it as well. And so I hope that, this is kind of a wake-up call for those that, may or may not have family members or may have it in their genetics. If you actually have a consistent workout routine in the future, it'll feel like you're drinking water every day.
Exactly.
It'll be a part of your life. You being a gym guy, a gym bro, or a gym girl, that will be a part of your identity. And a lot of these mental issues that people reach whenever they're 60, 70, or even earlier in their 50s or 40s, you will prevent. And so I hope this is a wake-up call for your health, more so than the physique that you're trying to achieve, because there's so much more to it.
Your body keeps score.
Now, I want to kind of get into how we can establish exercising as a habit, and we can use Atomic Habits as reference, and this is kind of how I wrote. And so this will be the starting sentence into our habits section. This will be establishing exercises as a habit. Building a consistent exercise routine can be challenging, but applying proven habit-forming strategies can facilitate this process. James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, offers insights into developing sustainable habits. Oh God, I butchered that. So, like we said at the beginning, you have to start small. If you have not been going to the gym for 4 to 5 years, you should start small. If you go on a walk in the morning, every morning for 5 minutes, even if it's just 5 minutes, and I know it sounds pathetic, you're like, man, I can go for 30 minutes, an hour.
Yeah, what is that even going to do?
Exactly. Start with 5 minutes to establish a habit. 21 days to establish a habit. If every single day for 21 days straight, with no fault, you go out on a walk for 5 minutes, you go and you enjoy the sunset, the sunrise. You enjoy you enjoy nature and your neighbors and the environment that you're in. Not only will you clear your mind, not only will you establish a habit, but you're strengthening your body. And you're starting off your day with increased blood flow because you're not just laying down and getting up and then leaving. You're walking. Your body is being overflown with blood because your heart's pumping.
And you're clearing out the cortisol and adenosine that you had when you woke up. And it starts your day off at a much better baseline.
Exactly. And so begin with manageable workouts to build your confidence and avoid burnout. Do not just jump into the gym if you haven't been going for a while. And if you have been going to the gym and you have a good foundation, that's great. Make sure you're going as much as you can.
Not to mention warming up before your workout.
Oh,
to avoid stretch marks, overextensions, pulling a muscle. There's some bad things that can happen when you don't prepare for a workout or warm up beforehand, especially if you haven't gone in a while.
Yeah, and you definitely don't want to tear your chest unless you
disgusting.
want a Kevlar replicant. You do not want to tear your chest.
I don't
And
want
so-
strings in my muscles.
But it's important to have a healthy routine that works best for you. His routine is different than mine. Everybody's routine is going to be unique to them. And so find what works best for you and implement it and do it. Don't just create a routine and let it just sit in your notes until you finally get to it. Prioritize. Make it attractive. Make going to the gym attractive. I mean,
Make it fun for you.
mhm.
Do what you need to do to get you out of the house and get into the gym. You know, if you find fun in like picking your outfit, you know, you get the gym outfit, try to look the best you can. If it's a confidence thing you need, that's perfect. If you like your favorite pre-workout, it gets you in the mood, that's perfect too. Music, that's a big one. Anything that'll get you there and motivate you to stay in the gym.
And so, and also like, I get really hyped when it's chest day. That's just me personally. Because like, what if it's a specific day out of the week of your favorite workout? Some people really like legs. I don't know why, but some people really like legs. And so it's like, man, it's leg day. Imagine like you have to dread the first 2 days of your workout routine, whether it's chest and back, bis and tris, whatever it may be. Find your perfect day to be like, wow, so I have to hit these 2 workouts before I hit my favorite workout. Okay, let's get it. So that's making that day attractive. It's making that day promising. You're like, man, it's Friday. We're about to hit legs.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
And there's so many different exercises you can do. Some that you see are really popular, but you hate doing and you just can't do it. Pick a different one.
Yeah.
Just do something different. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing.
Exactly.
There's
Don't
so many
follow
different
the crowd.
options. There's something for everyone that will make it more enjoyable for you. You just have to be willing to go out there and look for it. And there's really no excuse for that.
Yeah, and so that's the second one, make it attractive as much as possible. And set clear cues. So there are triggers that we have when you have a habit, right? So for example, every morning, if you have a specific routine and you always make a cup of coffee, now it's set cue. So when you wake up, you're immediately craving a coffee to start your day. That's a cue. You wake up, cue, coffee, right? And then this is a good way to establish specific triggers. Like set a time or place to signal when it's time to exercise. So for me specifically, I set a specific time that whenever I go to the gym. Obviously, work impedes that schedule sometimes, and it's okay. But I know whenever I clock out, lock in. We chug our pre-workout and we go to the gym.
Yeah. It's a long-term consistency that's key. A miss every here and then, it's not going to make a big difference. But long-term consistency is what we're going for.
Exactly. And set that cue that's attractive, right, to you. And so there can be a certain cue of you just looking at your gym clothes and putting them on. That's your cue. That changes your mind, your psychology to be like, this is my gym clothes. I have my clothes ready. I have my shoes on, my favorite running shoes. I'm ready to go hit the gym.
Yeah, and a really good one that you can use if you feel a lot of resistance getting up in the morning or going to the gym first thing of the day is the night before. You can set a reminder. You can remember to either lay out your gym clothes or put the pre-workout already on the counter. So as soon as you wake up, you see it. There's less resistance to just doing it.
Yeah, make it easy.
Make it easy for yourself.
Because we're humans, and the reason we're so addicted to our phones, to scrolling, to watching, shows and just binging, it's because things are easy. They're so easy to adapt and to adopt into our schedule. So make these things that are difficult to do easy so that we can grow at the end of the day. Because doom scrolling is not healthy for you, newsflash, but going to the gym and focusing on your health definitely are.
And if you struggle with doom scrolling, you have to be conscious enough to know how much dopamine you're getting from every scroll and then match it and try to eliminate the counteractiveness of going on a workout.
Interesting.
You have to kind of have it try to meet in the same area. So either it's way easier and there's way less resistance to getting on that workout compared to scrolling on your phone because of the amount of dopamine that it gives you versus effort.
Yeah, and it's also important to, this is the fourth one, reward yourself. So let's say you just hit a full month of consistent workouts, or let's say you hit a full week. Let's keep it simple. If you hit a full week of consistently going on a run every single day, reward yourself. It's Sunday morning. Let's make some pancakes, man.
Mhm.
Let's celebrate. Let's thank God that we made it the first week. And so every week, reward yourself. Because if you're constantly in this cycle of negativity, you're going to hate working out. You're going to hate going to the gym, and it's going to become even harder to do.
That's what happens to a lot of people. I've seen it happen to a lot of people.
And it's a negative cycle to adopt.
They start associating the gym with negative all around, just because of their inability to be proud of themselves for trying and celebrate the effort.
And it's difficult when, I can only relate to me personally. When you lack love in your heart and you're looking at yourself in the gym, you're like, man, why am I not there? Why am I not where this guy's at? You will be. One way or another, you will be. And it's not going to be today. It's not going to be tomorrow, nor next month.
But you're already that guy. Time just hasn't caught up yet.
Exactly. And your time will come. Everybody has a predestinated time, and their time will come. It's that section from before everything happens. That's the most important. The steps taken to reach the end goal are the most important steps that define you. And if you don't reward yourself, celebrate a full year of consistent workouts, it's just going to be another year. But if you reward yourself with healthy eating, healthy diets, with, foods that are going to help you physically, mentally, you're going to grow and you're going to love the gym because now it's a part of your lifestyle. You're going to be like, year 5, and this is who I am now. I reward myself by feeding myself the foods that I need to perform like a Ferrari.
And then you realize it's been training your discipline, and it's affecting all of the aspects of your life outside of the gym.
Agreed.
It's also improving
Exactly.
your ability to go get it and your ability to wait for the results
Exactly.
and not need that instant gratification. That's what the gym trains really well. A lot of people will be a testament to that.
Exactly.
It's more than just what you get while you're in the gym. It's all of the stuff that you train yourself to tolerate and encourage in your own mind. Self-encouraging versus self-sabotage.
Yeah, and you're also making yourself attractive, right? So, if you get jacked and you look great, that's something attractive to you, because you're reaping what you sow. You're reaping the harvest of the hard work that you put in the gym. And so it is extremely important to love yourself and love the physique that you're building. And so imagine you're lacking in your shoulders and you dedicate shoulder workouts, 2 times a week and 8 times a month. And now you see much more vascularity in your shoulders, more of a 3D look. Then you're like, wow, see, that's how my body can grow the more I dedicate and allocate time towards that. And so you make it attractive. You're like, man, I'm looking big. And then you start to love yourself.
Yeah.
And it's more than just you going to the gym. You're establishing a healthy habit that you enjoy doing for you, not for the people around, not to get girls, not to get guys, but for you.
Self-love, confidence, the way you hold yourself, the way you think about yourself, and the way you treat yourself.
Exactly.
It's the most important.
Yeah, but don't forget to track your progress. That's all I've been doing is tracking the weight that you're growing, tracking the weight that you're pushing, tracking how long you can run, what's your fastest time. I think the most important thing is to have some sort of a journal or an app or even your notes app. Something simple just to have your workouts written down. You know how many sets you hit, how many reps you were working out, and how much weight you were pushing. Just with those 3 fundamentals, you will be able to progressively overload your progress. So let's say I benched 245 or 145. Sorry, I can't bench 245. Imagine I bench 135, for example, right? For 10 reps. And I did that for 3 sets. Next week, if I hit 145 or even 155 for 8 reps, that shows growth. And if I continue down, just kind of leveling, I will continue to progress in strength and in repetition. And that's just a really healthy way to track your progress and know how much growth you're really making. And that's another way of rewarding yourself. You're like, let's go, man. I just hit my PR. I just hit my max weight. Like, I've been working so hard to reach that point, and now you're reaping it.
You cross one off the list.
Exactly. It's
so
like,
important
man,
to celebrate.
PR week. Let's go eat a massive 4,000
Let's
calorie meal.
Do it. Let's do it.
And so it's important to track and keep in mind that it is a slow marathon.
But it makes your goals more attainable.
Exactly. Especially if you do them every single day. It's just about showing up. And once you stop showing up, then you're throwing away all the progress that you've made.
You never lose until you quit.
Exactly. And it's also very important to create an environment to conduct, your exercises. That's why the gym is so perfect. It's a perfect environment to go to. And, some people, they like to have home gyms because, they're trying to avoid, you may have social anxiety or you're just trying to really not work out in front of people. Perfectly understandable. Everybody has their own reasons. They're trying to save more money, whatever it may be. Create an environment that you like, that motivates you to go to the gym. If you, like, for example, posters of bodybuilders, you're like, man, I'm not idolizing these people to the extent of they're my God, but it's like they're motivating me to grow. Because I don't know, I'm never going to reach that point naturally, but I know that I can definitely work out to reach a level of strength that I'm happy with and one that, I'm proud of.
But it also makes you feel like you can relate to these people and that they know what you are experiencing and going through, because they do. They're obsessed for sure, and it's a love for the craft that they have. Of course, there's days where they don't want to do it. Even the strongest and most fit people in the world, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, there's probably a day where he was like, I'm kind of tired. I don't really want to do this right now. The point is that he kept getting back up and going and going and going and never stopped.
Exactly.
And him posted up on the wall right there is a symbol of dedication and courage and perseverance.
It digs deeper than just the image of somebody strong. I want you to really understand this, guys. A strong physical physique, a strong physique that looks just insane, speaks so much more volume than, man, that guy looks good. No, man, that guy's disciplined. That guy's consistent. That guy eats well. That guy takes care of himself.
He knows how to work hard.
Exactly. He sacrificed so much to reach that physique. That's so much investment. So much investment. And people think it takes 2-3 years, man. If you see somebody with an insane physique, that's a lifetime right there. 5 years, 10 years. And it's not easy. And it won't be easy.
Yeah, that's obsession. That's addiction.
Exactly. But healthy addiction. There are healthy levels of addiction. There are also negative amounts of addiction. Because if you continue to work out and take no rest and you're not stretching, you're going to burn out or you're going to tear a muscle and it's going to make you feel even worse. Don't use the gym as a mental escape. Use it as a way to grow and for you to alleviate the stress of the day. But don't make it an idol.
It's there to help you process what you're going through.
Exactly. Find a support system, man. I mean, the gym is a really friendly environment, especially if you're just getting started. I mean, there's a lot of videos on how to get started in the gym and learning the basics. But there's nothing wrong with, hey, man, what kind of form do you usually use when you bench? Hey, man, what's the most optimal way to hit my triceps or to hit my biceps, man?
Yeah, I'm just the other day, that kid came up and asked me for my Instagram.
Yeah.
He's building a support system.
Exactly.
He told himself that, you know what, I need to start asking people for their contact more. I need to start making more friends. That's what he said.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that, especially in the gym environment. I mean, everybody's very welcoming. Yeah. They're just like you. They all started somewhere, and they're trying to grow themselves too. And if you're embarrassed of that, then I understand. And if you're struggling with something, it's better to open up about it than to keep it to yourself and hurt yourself.
Yeah, and I'm a very individual person, and I've always gone to the gym alone. Support system doesn't mean that you have to go with someone or you need a partner all the time, because that will create a bad codependency where you won't be able to get up and do it for yourself.
Exactly.
It's only because
I agree
that the other person is there with you. The gym creates a support system naturally. By the time you get there and you start meeting a few people, now you start seeing them more often, you say hi, you smile from across the room. That's why you want to be there. That's what keeps you there. That makes you appreciate what everyone's doing there.
And there are other forms of accountability, because like, let's say I go to the gym every single day for 6 months. I get to know the managers, man. You know, I get to know everybody, and I'm a regular, for example. And everybody's like, "Yeah, man, it's nice to see you." And then I stop going for a month, and they're like, "Yo, bro, I haven't seen you in a while. How you been?" You know what I mean? That holds you accountable. Like, for example, if I don't hit the gym, like me and you we're obviously doing the 75 hard, but like if I'm not holding myself accountable to you, then we extend a day. I throw my cash on the table because that's on me. But we establish that it's not about being codependent, it's about being accountable with one another. We both have a set goal, and we both agreed upon that goal with terms and conditions, because I want you to become the best version of yourself, and I want to become the best version of myself.
Likewise.
And that comes with sacrifice. But if I let you down on the goals that I brought up to the table, that I told you that I was going to do, then it makes me feel worse, because frankly, you don't want to let your friends down. You don't want to let your family down. And it's even harder. And it's easy to let yourself down, especially if you fall into a pit of self-doubt and self-hate. It's easy. It's really easy. But once you have somebody that you're accountable with, you'll learn to be accountable with yourself. And just in general, keep yourself with the standard of growth, of perfection, some could say.
Yeah, the more people you have at the gym that are thinking about you, waiting for you to show up, know you come to the gym, that'll help you get there.
Well, to add on to that, don't think that people are like waiting for you to go to the gym. No, no. Everybody's got their own life and their own thing going on, and I know you do too. But it's important to view the gym as something healthy, not something to be afraid of. It's inviting.
Yeah, they want you to show up.
Exactly.
It's not because they're not thinking they like your presence, and you should appreciate theirs as well, hopefully. But they want you to show up because they want you to be the best version of yourself.
Exactly.
And when they don't see you there, it's a little bit disappointing, but having the right support system in place, maybe they'll reach out and be like, "Hey, what's up? What's going on? I haven't seen you in a while. Is everything okay?" Building that support system, so important. That can save someone's life even. Just how are you? How are you doing?
Yeah, and it feels like I want you to understand that this gym, this workout aspect of life has greater meaning, and it doesn't always have to be spent alone. The progress you make, the walk that you take, reaching that level of a physique that you're proud of, that's lonely, because only you know where you want to be, and you know what steps you need to take to get there, and you know how long it's going to take. And every single day you wake up on your own and you're doing it on your own. But these people are here because they're going through the same thing you're going through. And so it's important to prioritize your own growth and prioritize yourself and your health in all aspects. It's important to grow, not just for physical aspects, but mentally. We want you to do well. We want you to be well. And this was a very interesting episode, and we want to continue to dive in deeper. But it's important. It's important that if you're still here and you're still listening, then that's because you have that drive. You have that desire to grow. You have that hunger to grow and become the best version of yourself. And just accept the fact that it won't be done today. But with every step that you take closer, it will be. Be proud of yourself.
Do it for yourself.
Amen. What a beautiful segment.
Healthy body's a healthy mind.
Exactly. If you want to change your body, change your brain. Change the way you think, change the way you act. Accept yourself for who you are.
And who you identify with.
Exactly. If you identify yourself with the couch potato, then that's who you're going to be.
If you tell yourself you get up in the morning and go on a run, then that's who you're going to be.
Yeah. If you're a runner, then you'll know it. And you'll live like one. If you're a reader, you'll live like one. If you're a writer, same thing. If you're a healthy eater, same thing. If you're somebody who just eats snacks, then you're going to be somebody who just eats snacks.
The evidence will show.
Exactly. Your body will reflect. The law of accumulation, ladies and gentlemen.
The body keeps score.
Everything. Every decision you make is kept. I hope you acknowledge that. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoy. Have a wonderful day. God bless you. Shh. Damn, Jake.
That was pretty cool. You ran that pretty good, dude.
You think so?
Yeah.
I was trying not to talk so much.
No, I mean, but it was your thing.
Just off the prompts. I want to do a little better with the aspect of having a little bit more forethought and knowledge.
Well, yeah.
For sure.
Like the
like the aspect
low key, I probably should have had that document last night so I could have prepared a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think it was still pretty good.
Yeah, I think we did.
But I'm gonna cut some things out.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
Like there were certain aspects where I was like, we're kind of it felt like we weren't talking sincerely,
Well,
just
and
off of our dome.
Yeah, and it kind of felt super surface level
Yeah.
sometimes. Like
Yeah.
we're talking about nothing.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was more so at the beginning,
Yeah.
but then we got into our flow and things
Yeah.
started to get a little better.
I think we're gonna realize that has to happen. Like it's gonna take like 20 minutes every time to kind of get into it.
Yeah, I agree. I think we should do like a segment where we talk more so of like just catching up and our practicality of our routine
Yeah.
and in regards to the topic, and then jump into the actual subject. you
Yeah.
know?
We got to think about creative ways to implement it.
Because I mean, we have this prompt, yes, we do, but we don't have the in-depth knowledge for it to sound truthful. You know what
Incredible.
I mean? Yeah, incredible. Especially if we're just, I mean, if we're talking about important factors like the what's it called, diabetes, for example.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Type 2 diabetes,
Yeah.
especially like dude.
I have no idea. Sorry, bro, you lost me. Type 2, but
Yeah.
there's more than one. Like there are certain things that we need to master, and especially in this line of work that we're going to be progressing,
Mhm.
it's important that we study it with depth. So I think we should like turn around full circle. I think once we hit Atomic Habits, we're set because I mean we read the book,
Yeah.
and so we knew a little more forethought knowledge, and we actually practiced it.
Yeah. That made it a little bit easier.
Yeah, but I think we have to definitely allocate time to study certain topics that we're interested in and go from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so kind of really revisit what we like to do and what we really want to master, Because that way we come in here, we're like off the dome, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in points where we're kind of feeling lost, we're like, okay, man, we like back up on each other,
And we gotta eat breakfast, and
Yeah,
it's kind of funny we're talking about all this, and
We haven't
like
ate any breakfast.
yeah, like skipping breakfast and
Sleeping in, bro. Fuck. My God.
yeah, I slept in.
Yeah, I did too, bro.
That's awkward.
Yeah, I was gonna read. I was like, dude, my foot. I was gonna go on a walk. The bottom of my foot is aching. I'm like, yeah,
Dude, and did this table get smaller? We kept touching knees.
yeah, right. I was like,
Yeah, I'm trying to stretch out my legs.
yeah, no, but here, this is the time.
Yeah, this is at 101.
All right, well,
That's
that is just this one, right?
yeah.